If you are sitting at your kitchen table right now, holding a newspaper or scrolling through your phone, and your hands are shaking because you just read that Social Security is running out 6 months earlier than they told us last year, please take a deep breath and stay with me. Because what I'm about to tell you is not what the headlines are saying. The truth is more complicated. It is also less terrifying than the panic suggests. But there is a real danger hiding inside this news, and if you make the wrong move in the next few weeks, you could lose tens of thousands of dollars in benefits you have already earned. I know how this feels. You worked 40, maybe 50 years. You paid into Social Security from every single paycheck, and now, in the years when you should finally be resting, someone on television is telling you the money might not be there. I am Masha. I am a senior policy analyst here at the Senior Vault, and I have spent more than a decade reading the same dense government reports that politicians and reporters quote on the news. Today, I am going to walk you through exactly what the Congressional Budget Office said in its February 2026 report, exactly what Congress did in January 2025 that made it worse, and exactly what you must do this month to protect every dollar of your benefit. Stay with me until the very end, because there is one hidden mistake I see seniors making in panic right now, and it is permanently cutting their checks by as much as 30% for the rest of their lives. I will show you how to avoid it. Let me start with a story. Robert is 67 years old. He lives in a small town in Pennsylvania with his wife Linda. He worked 38 years as a maintenance supervisor. He has been collecting Social Security for 1 year, and his check is about $2,400 a month. Linda still works part-time at the local library. Last week, Robert's neighbor came over with a printout from a website. The headline screamed that Social Security would be empty by 2032. The neighbor said, "Robert, you better tell Linda to file right now at age 62. Get your money before it disappears." Robert is not a foolish man, but he is scared, and fear makes smart people do things they would never normally do. That night, Robert and Linda sat at their kitchen table and almost called Social Security to file Linda's claim early. Here is what would have happened if they had made that call. Linda's full retirement age is 67. If she had filed at 62, her benefit would have been permanently reduced by 30%. Not for a year. Not until the trust fund problem is fixed. For the rest of her life. And if Robert passes away first, Linda's survivor benefit would have been calculated from that reduced number too. Thankfully, Robert called me before he called Social Security. And after one conversation, he understood what most people on television will never explain to you. So let me explain the rule. In plain language, using only the official sources. Social Security has 2 trust funds. The one that pays retirees and widows is called the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund, or OASI. The other one pays disability benefits. Last June, the Social Security trustees released their official 2025 report. They projected that the OASI Trust Fund would run out of reserves in 2033. Then, in February 2026, the Congressional Budget Office updated its projection. The CBO now says the trust fund could be exhausted in 2032, about 6 to 12 months earlier than the trustees said. Why 6 months earlier? 2 reasons. First, inflation has been running higher than expected, which means cost of living adjustments are bigger, which means the trust fund pays out more. Second, and this is the part Congress does not want to talk about. On January 5, 2025, Congress passed the Social Security Fairness Act. That law repealed 2 old rules called the Windfall Elimination Provision and the Government Pension Offset. It restored full benefits to about 3.2 million public sector retirees, teachers, firefighters, police officers, federal civil service workers. Now, restoring those benefits was the right thing to do for those workers. They had paid in and were being shortchanged. But here is the problem. Congress passed that law without adding a single dollar of new revenue to pay for it. The CBO estimates it will cost the program about $200 billion over 10 years, and it pulls the depletion date forward by roughly 6 months. That is the Congress just made it worse part of the story. They expanded benefits without funding them. Now, here is the part the scary headlines almost never tell you. Social Security cannot truly run out. Not while working Americans are paying FICA payroll taxes. Even if Congress does absolutely nothing, which has never happened, by the way. Incoming payroll taxes after 2032 or 2033 would still cover roughly 77 to 81% of scheduled benefits. That is what the SSA Trustees Report says, on page after page. The program does not vanish, it does not zero out, it does not disappear. But, and this is important, current law does require an automatic cut on the day reserves are depleted. The Social Security Administration is legally prohibited from paying more than it takes in, so if Congress does nothing, and let me say this clearly, every prior time we faced this problem, in 1977 and again in 1983, Congress acted before the deadline. But if they do nothing this time, every retiree, current and future, would see an across-the-board cut of about 23%. For someone receiving $2,000 a month today, that is roughly $460 less every month, about $5,520 a year, gone. That is the real number. Not zero, 23%. Now let me walk you through the traps. These are the mistakes I see seniors making right now in May of 2026, because they are scared. The first trap is believing the program is going to zero. It is not. Stop letting that fear drive your decisions. The second trap, and this is the most expensive one, is filing early at 62 out of panic. Filing at 62 instead of your full retirement age is a 30% permanent reduction. If you combine a panic claim at 62 with a possible 23% trust fund cut later, you could end up with only 54% of the benefit you actually earned. That is half. For the rest of your life. The third trap is yanking money out of your IRA or 401k early. Before age 59 and a half, the IRS hits you with a 10% early withdrawal penalty on top of regular income tax. And pulling extra income can push more of your Social Security into the taxable zone. Up to 85% of your benefit becomes taxable once your combined income passes $34,000 single or $44,000 married. It can also push you into Medicare IRMA surcharges, which in 2026 can add anywhere from $81 to $487 per month on top of your standard Part B premium of $202.90. The fourth trap is scams. The moment trust fund headlines hit the news, the phone calls and text messages start. Claim your pre-cut bonus. Lock in your share before the depletion. None of that is real. The Social Security Administration does not call you, they do not text you, they do not ask for your bank password or your Social Security number. The CFPB reports the average elder fraud loss is between $5,000 and $50,000. Hang up, delete the text. The fifth trap is thinking the cut will be selective. It will not be. Current retirees and future retirees would all be cut the same percentage. There is no grandfather clause in current law. The sixth trap is confusing the Fairness Act with a benefit increase for everyone. It is not. It only applies to those who were affected by WEP or GPO. If you spent your career in the private sector, your benefit is unchanged. The seventh trap, and this one breaks my heart because it is so easy to fix, is ignoring your annual Social Security statement. Most people never log into their account. They never check their earnings record. And under federal law, you only have 3 years, 3 months, and 15 days to correct an error in any given year. After that, the mistake is permanent. A missing year of wages can cost you tens of thousands of dollars in lifetime benefits. So now, here are your 3 exact action steps. Please write these down, or pause this video and come back when you have a pen. Step 1. Log into your My Social Security account at SSA.gov My Account. If you have never created one, do it this week. View your statement. Check every single year of your earnings history against your old W-2s or tax returns. If you find a missing or incorrect year, file Form SSA 7008 to correct it. This is the single most valuable hour you can spend on your retirement security. Step 2. Before you make any change to your benefits, before you file early, before you suspend, before you withdraw an application, call the Social Security Administration directly at 1-800-772-1213. The TTY line is 1-800-325-4078. or make an in-person appointment at your local field office. Do not get your retirement strategy from a neighbor, a Facebook post, or a YouTube comment. If you already filed early and you are within 12 months of that decision, ask about Form SSA 521, the Request for Withdrawal of Application. It lets you cancel your claim and refile later at the higher amount, as long as you repay what you have already received. This single form has saved seniors hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetimes. Step 3. Keep paper copies of everything. Your most recent Social Security statement, your Medicare card, your pension award letter, your bank statements showing your monthly direct deposit. Put them in a fireproof folder. Share the location with your spouse and one trusted adult child. If a scammer ever tries to convince you that your benefits have changed, you will have the real documents in hand to compare against the lie. And if you are between full retirement age and 70, ask Social Security about voluntarily suspending your benefits to earn delayed retirement credits. 8% per year, guaranteed by federal law, up to age 70. That is one of the few risk-free 8% returns left in America. Before I let you go, please hear me on this final point. Do not rely only on YouTube notifications for important Social Security news. The platform's algorithm changes constantly. I have heard from too many viewers who missed a deadline because a notification simply never arrived in their inbox. If Congress passes a fix in 2027 or 2029 or 2031, you cannot afford to find out 3 months late from a friend at church. Bookmark these official sources today while you are sitting in front of your computer. SSA.gov for Social Security, Medicare.gov for Medicare, irs.gov for tax rules, benefits.gov for federal benefit programs, aarp.org for plain English summaries. Check them once a month. And if you suspect a scam, report it to the SSA Office of the Inspector General at oig.ssa.gov or call 1-800-269-0271. You earned every penny of your Social Security check. You worked decades for it. The program is not disappearing. The trust fund is under pressure, yes, and Congress has made the math harder, yes, but Social Security has been here through the Great Depression, World War II, the 1977 crisis, the 1983 crisis, the 2008 crash, and the pandemic. It is still here, and with the right knowledge in your hands, your benefit is still protected. I am Masha. This has been the Senior Vault. Stay informed, stay calm, stay protected, and I will see you in the next one.